All right, well, hello everyone. Welcome to a surprise evening stream. I'm just having too much fun working on the multiplayer prototype, so I'm just going to continue it, and I've got nothing else going on this Friday night, so figured I might as well just go ahead and get a stream going, and we'll see. Sorry my room is so dark, but it is evening, so... And I don't have proper lighting, so there we go. But anyway, yeah, before I get started, I've got my game Gunforge. It's available for sale. It's the first link in the description below. So if you want to support my work, please check that out. We're at 43 reviews, 95% positive, which is awesome. I love that. So thank you all for your support. Very much appreciate that. And I also have Udemy courses available for sale, so you could check those out. Those are also linked below. Those are a great way to kickstart your Godot learning if that's something that you're interested in. And so let's go ahead and get started. I'll get into what I'm going to be working on here in just a sec. But first, hello, Luca. Welcome back. 2 a.m. here. Dang. You are on top of these streams. It's good to see you again. All right, so let me show you what I've got. So I actually did a couple of interesting things here that I want to show you. So I've got these... So there was a problem that I was having. Well, let me back up here. Yeah. So on this morning stream, I was working on getting some more equipment and stuff working and synchronizing that across the clients. And I went ahead and implemented a way of identifying items based on an ID. So the idea is that the server is going to generate rewards here. So in this generate rewards function, that generates a reward for every peer. Because the initial set of rewards that are going to be given to the players are, let's see, yeah, so the rewards are exclusive to the players initially. So that means that for every player, the server is going to generate a set of rewards that's unique to that player. And those rewards are, for now, equipment items, right? And so those equipment items are going to be randomized in terms of their stats. But the problem is that I could send those items over to the player, but then I needed a way for the player to tell the server, hey, I need to equip this item. Of course, the problem though is in a server authoritative model, you can't trust any object that's coming from the player. So if I sent the entire object back to the server and said, hey, I want to equip this item and all of its stats, the player could have modified the item on their side and then sent that updated data to the server. So I needed a way of linking an item on the server side and the player. And so I set up an ID for that. And so now when the player says I want to equip an item, all the player does is say, here's the ID of the item, I want to equip it. And that's very useful because what will happen now is the server can keep track of whether that item is equipable by the player or not. So if I go to, I have a server item manager here. It's getting a little bit complicated, but basically I need a way of making sure that the player has permission to equip this item. So the server basically maintains a list of items and their IDs, and then determines whether a player can have access to that item by storing a list of peer IDs that have permissions to that item. Now, I don't think I'm going to stick with this. I haven't really decided that yet, but for now, this is just a single element. But eventually I'm going to have a way of like dropping an item on the ground and then it becomes available to all players, right? So anyway, basically what's happening is that the server is keeping track of the permissions of each item. The player will say, I want to equip this item with this ID. The server will check and say, okay, does the player have permission to equip? First of all, does an item with that ID exist? Number two, does the player have permission to equip that item? Because you wouldn't want the player to, for instance, say, I want to equip an item that another player has equipped. So the server has to do the work to make sure that's not happening. So I kind of built that system, and it's very simple. This ID is just, the server is just generating a nano ID on the back end and then sending that along with the data for the item. And so that's how the system is basically just being built in a way that I can build on top of it and then not worry about it. And let's see. So that is the major thing that I did. And what else? I had a chatbot write me some RPC functions that make working with RPCs in C# a lot nicer. So typically when you're doing an RPC call, you have to pass in a string for the method name. So like I would have to pass in, so this, hold on a second. Goodness, the cats are always annoying when I want to start streaming. My cat was just sitting outside my door incessantly meowing, so I had to go tell him to knock it off. It was getting really hard to think and think about what I was saying. But anyway, so the RPCs, so typically with an RPC in Godot, what I have to do is, you have to do this, right? RPC ID, peer ID, and then you have to do method name dot set peer, set this peer rewards, and then Godot array. So this would be the normal equivalent of doing what this nice RPC does. The problem is that this method name is not using the same symbol as the function. So if I'm trying to figure out where this is called, I don't have the ability to do that, right? So I can't say like, oh, find all references of set peer rewards, and oh, there it is, right? Because this is a method name, this is a different symbol. So that is a problem. But also the params here are just an array of, it's just a params array of variant. And so I don't get any type safety either. So what the nice RPC does is it basically, and again, I had a chat bot write all this for me. I didn't sit here and write all this by hand, but basically it takes an action with a generic type T1, and then it asserts that that type has to match for argument position 1. And the unfortunate thing about this is you can't do a variable number of arguments, so you just have to create as many overloads as arguments you want to support. So I had it write 5 variants. So I can do this.nice RPC ID with up to 5 arguments, and that is all type enforced. So if I were to try to pass in a mismatched type here, like false, this becomes an error because cannot convert from method group to system action bool. So it's not, the signature doesn't, the signature of this function does not match this argument type. So that's very nice. So I get 2 benefits out of that. I get the type safety that I'm looking for, but then I also get to use just a delegate, basically reference to the function. So now I can use this symbol when I'm looking for where to find references. And the other benefit is that if I want to rename this function, then I can go ahead and do that. It will be updated in every place. So anyway, that is something nice that I had done. It's bonus coding indeed. Cat knows what he was doing, disturbing his human. Yeah, he's very, very needy. Okay, so what I want to do, hello, Bryce. Bought your game and wanted to say congrats. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I'm so blue right now. Why am I so blue? I need better lighting in here, I suppose. So now that I went on that long-winded, oh, this hasn't been changed. This .nice RPC. Bam. I'm just gonna make sure that I did all the RPC replacements I need to do. Okay, yeah, that must have just been the one place that I was missing. Okay. All right, so I think the next step that I want to do is, there's a bunch of things that I need to do here. Let's take a look at what the game is looking like. Where do you learn how to do Godot multiplayer? I've been trying to implement it in my game and it's so tough. Yeah, it is very tough. The unfortunate thing is you just have to kind of do it and then figure out. I know that's not super helpful, but you know, what I have found is that in particular, the latest version of Grok on x.com, formerly known as Twitter, the latest version of Grok is really good at writing Godot code, like scary good, better than ChatGPT. So you can ask it like any multiplayer questions you want, and it will give you basically out of the box correct Godot code, which is awesome. It's much more successful at doing that than ChatGPT ever was. So that's a great learning tool. That's actually the chatbot that I used to write these RPC extensions for me. I basically said, hey, I want a nice type safe way of of doing RPC calls with, and write some extension methods for me, and it did it. So that was very nice. But yeah, other than that, it's really hard. I mean, there are multiplayer examples, I think, in the Godot tutorials, but unfortunately, I don't think they're very sophisticated. So there's a bunch of directions that I can go right now. So if I equip this, boom, that gives me a helmet, and the helmet right now increases the energy. So you can see my energy bar went up on this client, and then if I go here, should do the same thing. So there's a lot of stuff I could do with respect to itemization. I think what I might do is make a new equipment type, and then that way I can expand my code so that right now my code is assuming everything is an armor resource. So if I go to my armor resource here, I think what I might do is, let me think, how granular do I want to make this? I probably shouldn't think too far ahead, but I think what I want to do is, actually, maybe I should support weapons. Maybe that would be the next thing to do. I was thinking I could add like chest armor, but that would just extend armor resource, and so that wouldn't really cause me to update my code. Because right now, for the equipment system, it's assuming everything is an armor resource, but if I want a weapon resource, then I think what I'm gonna want to do that. So I think that'll be fun. So maybe I'll introduce a weapon resource and then make these both extend like an item resource maybe. And we'll just do the refactoring that is required to do that. Obviously, a lot of this stuff is gonna need to be shared between armor resource and weapon resource. And also, I've got these network from armor resource. So these are static methods that can convert from a Godot dictionary to an armor resource, or from a Godot dictionary, or from an armor resource to a Godot dictionary. So finding a way to genericize and extend that, I think, would be a good idea. So let's try that. Let's try that. So we're going to need a weapon resource then. So let's go ahead and create a new file. Data. What I might do is, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? Let's just create a new file here. Actually, I should probably do this through the Godot editor. New, create new script. Scripts data, we're going to call this weapon resource. Here's the cat. There he is. This is the annoying one. What are you doing? You being annoying? Another way to learn is to find a Godot game with multiplayer that you like and then use GD retools on it. Use it as a reference. Yeah, if you can find a project like that. I've been having a blast using source generators to create methods for me, like network to and network from. Yeah, I thought about using source generators for that RPC stuff that I was talking about, but the extension methods was a little bit easier for now. This is now a cat stream. Coding is over. I know. I've got the other cat here too. Oh. There's the other one. Hello. Look at the camera. Look at the camera. Oh. Okay. I wish they would play with each other instead of bothering me, but that's all right. That's all right. There are worse problems to have. So this uses, yeah, this is all wrong. Global class, partial. So we're going to need to want to extend probably an item resource. I think that's what I'm going to call it. Create new resource. No, create new script. We'll just do object empty. Data, item resource. This item resource, I think I can make this, I think I'll make this abstract, actually. public partial abstract class. Oh, should I not make that partial? Public partial needs to go here maybe. I see. Namespace game.data. Okay, item resource. Cool. So this is an abstract. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the armor resource, we're going to make it extend item resource, and then we're going to take the weapon resource and we're going to make this extend item resource as well. So item resource is basically now, I think it's going to, we're going to want to take this unique ID here, I think, and this. Do I want to keep the packed scene in here? That's a good question. We're going to take these out and put these in the item resource. Okay. So that's good. We're going to take this initialize function. You know what? Maybe we will take the packed scene in here. So yeah, let's do this. Let's take this initialize out. We'll put this inside of item resource. Take this packed scene with us as well. Oops. Put that in there. Now this is going to need to be probably a private why didn't I just blank on how to create an abstract method? Is this how I do it? Wait a minute. Virtual or, oh, protected. Get scene path. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to need to override that. And then in here, what I'll do is I'll take this and do get scene path. Actually, this would be gd.load get scene path using system.link. So the armor resource here, let's do protected override void get scene path. Or no, this has to be a string. And I need the Pascal ID. I might as well save that as well. Public string Pascal ID get private set. Okay. All right, ToNode. We'll take this and put this in the item resource as well. Oh, somebody deleted their messages. What happened to all the messages? Did something go wrong? Oh, I see. Oh, gotcha. Okay. I keep, like, I see the message list in the corner of my eye, so I know when there are new messages. And then, you know, I was about to look over and I saw that they were deleted. That's all right. So ToNode instance are free. This needs to use Godot utilities. Cool. Okay, so now we need to duplicate in here. So I'm going to do a public virtual item resource. Ooh, this isn't going to work, is it? Duplicate. Base.duplicate as item resource. Dupe.id, dupe.pascal ID equals Pascal ID. Okay, so we'll do all those things. And then the armor here, I think what I would do is just do dupe equals base.duplicate as armor resource, and then I can return dupe. Public override. Does that work? Okay, that should work. Okay, generate unique ID. This can go in the item resource instead. We need to bring in the nano ID here. Okay. So these things, these should be overrideable as well. Yeah, so I think that's fine. So I'm going to take these, put these in the item resource, put these... Oh, can I not do... I don't think I can do... Can I can't override static methods, can I? No, I can't. I don't think so anyway. Public, static, virtual. No, that's not going to work. Interesting. So this is where it would be really nice to have like an auto mapper. Is duplicate is different than iClonables. Clone. I don't know. Well, duplicate is a Godot method for duplicating the resource. I think it'll work because it's a Godot duplicate method. So when it detects that, so when I call duplicate from here, well, let's see. Yeah, since this ultimately inherits resource, it's kind of confusing. It will duplicate the Godot resource, which can then be cast back to an armor resource. I'm pretty sure. I mean, we'll see if it breaks, but I'm pretty sure that will work. Now, why isn't this working? Oh, private set. I'll just set these to protected, I suppose. Or no. Wait a minute. Yeah, we'll do protected. This is not going to work. I need to figure out a different way of doing that. But we're going to see if all this works. Hides inherited member. What do you mean it hides inherited member? Is that an old error? Oh, it is. Okay. Okay, so hopefully I did everything correct. We're going to see if that works, though. Let me override this. So we can see pretty easily if this is going to work because this duplicate is being called somewhere. It's being called in the server rewards. Or no, it's being called here from ID. So what I should be able to do actually is if I want, I can do gd. Let's do a gd.print from ID head iron dot I don't know. Test equals from ID test dot generate unique ID test dot. We'll just be extra sure. gd.print. Oops. Just to be extra sure, let's do test dot duplicate dot unique ID. So I should get some. I should not see any errors here when I run the game. Might have better look using something like copy from. Why would I use copy from? I'm using the built-in Godot resource duplicate. Unless you're talking about the dictionary. Unless you're talking about the dictionary stuff that I was doing. But yeah, enjoy your Friday evening. And yeah, hope you have a good time. Hope you have a good weekend. Why did that not print anything? Advanced print here, yeah. Advanced print here. So I don't know why. I guess static constructors don't work. That's fine. I'll just print it here. I mean, I'll know the error by now if I get to this point, but might as well just try it. There's my, yeah, there's my things. Where is this print coming from? Do I have this print somewhere? Print S. In any case, the duplication is working. Oh, it's in here. Equip item. Oh, very nice. Get rid of that print. So yeah, the duplication is working. That's just an oddity of how the Godot resources work. All right, so I actually don't need this right now, so I'll just do this. Okay, so that's working. So now I need a way of making this extensible. Network from armor resource. This is where it would be nice to be able to just mark properties with like an attribute or something as something that needs to be converted to and from a dictionary, which I could do. I mean, I could do something like use JSON serialization, but I don't want to do that. Like, I wish, I mean, I could use a an attribute and create my own attribute, like network serialized or something, and then use reflection to gather those all up, assign those values to the dictionary, and then unreflection it. You know what I mean? Shoot. Do I want to use reflection though? That's the key. Source generators. Well, source generator would be nice, but I don't know if I want to introduce that. I don't know if I want to introduce that. Is it even possible to do source generators alongside? Because you need to set up a separate project for that, right? I set up source generators for my Godot utilities library, but I don't know if I could just add it directly into this Godot project. Maybe I can. If you know how to, I'd be interested to hear. But, I'm really tempted to do the reflection method of doing this. Is that a bad idea? I have to look maybe into doing source generators here. I don't know. For now, just use reflection and copy. What is copy to and copy from? I need to look that up. Wonder if it was flagged as spam. Oh, let's see. Maybe it was. Let's see. Yeah, I don't see a message about why copy from. I don't even know what those things are. Is it array copy to? iCollection copy to. I don't know why I would use this, honestly. I don't think that's going to be, at least for what I'm Googling, that's not, I don't think that's relevant to what I'm doing. I need to create a Godot dictionary, send an RPC over the network to a client, and then basically copy all those values into a resource. So maybe there's a way to use that, what you were saying, but I don't see it. I'm trying to think if there's an easier way to do this besides reflection and source generators. I don't think so. I mean, other than specifying, you know, the exact methods. But the thing is, well, here's the other thing. Ideally, I'd be able to just have like a generic item resource and have that. Ideally, what I'd be able to do is inside of an RPC, I'd be able to handle it as an item resource and deserialize it to an item resource and then be able to tell what kind of resource it is from that. I actually don't know if that's going to be possible. I'd probably need to send another piece of information along with the dictionary coming over as to what type it needs to be. It needs to be deserialized into. Because the ideal situation is I'd just be passing item resources around, like across the network and whatnot, and then the code would be able to determine whether this item resource needs to become armor or weapon or whatever else. I think I'm just going to do it real sloppy like for a second here. I think I'm just going to do it real sloppy like for a second. No, that's not going to work, is it? JSON serialization might be fastest and give what you need the quickest. You may need to send the full type name along with the data, but that should work out of the box. Yeah, I thought about that. It's just that's going to use more, I think it's going to use more bandwidth. I think. I'm not sure, but I don't think that would necessarily be a problem, but I thought about doing that. JSON serialization. It probably wouldn't be enough bandwidth to be concerning. But let me see if I can get it to work the way that I want to. Yeah, I think what I'd probably need to do is instead of making these static, I'll probably need one static method here, but instead of making this, I'm going to rename this. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Item resource. Public virtual dictionary, Godot.collections dictionary. To network dictionary. Just grab these things, slap them on over here. Energy and health don't need to be here because those are not. Probably should. Do I want to pass over the? No, I don't need to do that. Yeah, so to network dictionary. Gonna pass in the ID here. Unique ID there. Okay. Return dict. So we can just do return new dictionary here. Okay, so then what I can do in the armor resource is I can override that. So, oh, I need to do this. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Network from armor resource. I guess one of the reasons why it was static is that I can detect if item is null and then return an empty dictionary. But if I change this to be a method on the object, then I have to do that myself. Where I have to detect if the item is null before I call the toNetwork dictionary and then default it to an empty dictionary. Which is a little bit less nice, but... I don't want to fix the problem if and when it comes up. I'd rather do it right the first time. If it's going to be equivalent in effort. Populate network dictionary. The toNetwork dictionary populate dictionary method, whatever you call, is effectively what I meant by copy to copy from. I didn't mean, oh, I see. Yeah. No, I understand. Yeah, there was a point of the static methods here was, yeah, to have like just, like I said, static methods to convert to and from dictionaries. That's what those were. But I need a way now of differentiating between the types. And I don't like how this is working now. With the, where did it go? Here. toNetwork dictionary. So now that this is a virtual method, I could override it and add more properties to the dictionary, but the problem now is that if I have a null item, I have to do the null chaining. Remember to do the null chaining. Okay. I mean, I can still do it with static methods, I suppose. I think I will. I just have to do a little bit different here. So instead of doing this, I'll do... Can I do a static method inside of an abstract class? I don't even know. Public static dictionary, toNetwork dictionary. Item resource. Cool. Sweet. So I'll put this up here. So that'll be the basic one. And then what I can do in here is I can say public static item resource. Will this work? From network dictionary. And then if I was able to determine like a type in here, to do determine type. I think that would work, yeah. Then if I could say, oh, if is armor, then return armor resource dot from network dictionary. Something like that. Pass in the dictionary, don't have a method to create it. That way each inheritor can extend the function. Call base, get base properties added, then add its own properties. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to do that, though. I'd rather use static methods for the reasons I mentioned, because if I have a null item, then I have to do chaining operators and make sure to fall back to an empty dictionary, and that's going to happen all over the code base. I'd rather have just a static method I can call that with a potentially null item that will just automatically do it for me. So like, for instance, if item resource is equal to null, return. Because I think I need to send an empty dictionary over when Godot is expecting a dictionary over the network, but I might be wrong. I should test that. This from, though, that's not going to work. I might have to do the inherit option, though. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I really don't want to do that, but I don't think I might have to do that instead. Fine, I'll do that. But then I have to do null chaining everywhere and fall back to an empty dict. That's going to be annoying. That's all right. That's all right. It's an armor resource. Whoa, why did I do that? Dictionary, to network dictionary. Dict is equal to base dot to network dictionary. Dict. We don't need to send the display name over. Energy and health. So let's get those things going. Energy and health. Let's just get rid of this, I suppose. Dict key ID. Oops. Okay, dict key ID. Why is that not working? Oh, yeah. This needs to be... I deleted the wrong properties. Oops. Key health. Energy. Health. Network 2 armor resource. So this is the... Yeah, so this is the problem, is if I just have a dictionary, I need a way of converting that to... converting that to the proper resource. So I should probably, let's see. I'm just going to put an enum in here. Public enum, item type, armor, weapon, public, yeah, public string, or public item type. I know you're not supposed to do this, but I'm going to call this item type enum. Get protected set. And this initialize public virtual void initialize. Initialize base.initialize and then item type is equal to item type enum.armor, so that we can send that along in the item resource here. Private const item type enum key item type. Oops. Nope, that's supposed to be a string. So that will help me deserialize that. Is there a reason why this isn't working? Cannot convert to Godot variant. Okay, well, hopefully I can just cast it as an int. And then we'll deal with that later. Okay, and then the weapon resource, I need to do the same thing. Override void initialize. Base.initialize item type. Item type enum.weapon. Okay, that'll work. Does this mean we're getting a Udemy course on multiplayer? It might, yeah. I mean, I do want to do a Udemy course on multiplayer, but we will see. We will see. Okay, so that item type is being sent over along with that. So now I need a way, I think I need, I mean, I do need to do this kind of like static thing here. So I wonder if I just did something like this. Protected, static, item resource. I'll just call it base from network dictionary. No, I don't know if that works. I think I would just do the type it. Oh, wait a minute. Shoot. I basically have to do the whole thing. Wait. I wonder if I can cast back from an int. If, let's do this first. If dictionary.keys.count is equal to 0, return null. So that'll work. And then in here, what we're going to do is say var type is equal to dictionary key item type. Let's cast this to an item type enum. You're really not going to let me do that, huh? Let's cast it as an int first. Okay, I hope that works. We'll find out. If type, if is armor. So if type is equal to item type.armor. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, so item resource deserialized equals null. Deserialized is equal to that, and then we can backfill item type enum.weapon. And then in here, we can do all the other things. So this stuff here. So we'll say ID. Oh. Deserialized.id is equal to string dictionary key ID. Deserialized.Pascal ID is equal to, since we're not passing out over the Pascal ID, I'll do deserialized.id.toPascal case here. Make sure to set that back up. Unique ID. Deserialized.unique ID is equal to string dictionary key unique ID. And then deserialized item type, right? Deserialized.item type is equal to this item type. So we'll apply all those later. And then this item type here. Oh, goodness. Okay, armor resourced from network dictionary. Let's pass that in. Let's return this deserialized here. Dictionary. So from network dictionary, this. I don't necessarily think this needs to happen anymore. Shoot. Should I make this? This doesn't work, does it? Oh, it does. Very nice. So if I make this protected, I won't be able to call that from outside, right? Armor resource dot from. Yeah, sweet. Well, I don't know if that's sweet. We'll figure it out. But in order for the ordering to work, I have to always call from network dictionary on the base item resource. Because what's going to happen is this needs to be public here. Wait a minute. Did I do something wrong here? Oh, it's calling itself. Whoops. Well, we'll figure it out. Hello, Felipe. I was a few days away from YouTube recovering from a umbilical hernia surgery. Ooh. Sorry about that. We'll buy my copy of your game very soon. Congrats and let's go. Thank you. Yeah, hopefully you're feeling better. Protected static armor from network dictionary. Is this going to work? Damn it. Foiled again. I guess what I could do is I could do this. Is this gonna work? Wait a minute, is this gonna work? Let's do this. From network dictionary, public armor resource, I'll call this populate from, since this is not static anymore. That's dangerous, but whatever. So in here in this item resource, I'm going to do new armor resource. And then deserialize.populate from. Oops. Now why isn't that working? Oh, because it's still the normal. It's still the, it's just cast as that type. Okay, well. Whatever. Populate from network dictionary. Dictionary. Okay, well. Let me know if you have questions. My Friday plans got undone. Oh, sorry about that. Populate from, you're doing it, you're finally doing it. Well, whatever. I was trying to do it all with static methods, but it's not working. I don't like this at all. Really, I don't. I don't really want to do this. But, because I really don't, I just don't like this, creating a new resource and populating it from. I don't know, I'd much rather just have a single point of entry static function that can just do that all. But couldn't figure that out, so it's not going to work. It's not going to work. In any case, energy, health, We get rid of these things. It is yeah, it is. I got it. I'm not new to programming. I'm not new to this. I just wanted to do this with a single static method, and it wasn't working, so now I have to do this. I really do not like this. I have a burning, seething hatred of this right now. But we're gonna keep going. So then deserialized equals new weapon resource. I guess, yeah. Yeah, I could make this just a, like you were saying, a, virtual method that I can override. But populate from network dictionary. Maybe I will do that. Let's see. Public. Virtual item resource. Populate from network dictionary. No, void. So the problem is though that if the dictionary is empty, I don't want to end up with just an empty resource. That's really the thing that's bothering me right now. The whole point of having a static method is I can pass in null or an empty dictionary here or whatever, and it's just going to return null. Like, oh, you don't have an item resource because the dictionary is empty or it's null or whatever. But if I do this populate from network dictionary, now I got to create a new resource. I mean, I can still keep the static method to do that initial check, but the danger of doing this is that I could end up with a new resource that just doesn't have anything in it because it's the dictionary was invalid or whatever. That's what I don't like about it. That's why I wanted a single point of like, here's a dictionary, you know, do some basic validation, return null if the dictionary is not valid, check the type. Okay, deserialize it into an armor resource if that's valid. Deserialize it into a weapon resource if that's not valid. If all those things fall through, return null. You know what I mean? It's like having a single static method to do all that was going to be nicer. But now that I have this, we can do new var resource equals new item resource. Oh, I can't. Oh, the other problem is that this is an abstract class, so I can't even instantiate that. So maybe I should stick with the static method. I can't even instantiate an item resource, so that's not going to work. Okay. I guess I can make this an abstract, though. Make that an abstract, and then in here, we got populate from network dictionary. And then in my weapon resource, we can add that in here as well. That doesn't do anything, so we'll just leave that alone. Okay. Yeah. The caller should handle if the dictionary is empty. No, I don't think so. The caller shouldn't care what's in the dictionary. It should be up to the item resource to determine what item comes out of the dictionary. Because when a caller has the dictionary, it doesn't care. It's just a chauffeur of the data. It's just saying, I don't know what's in this dictionary. Here, you figure it out. Realistically, I have a helper class as the only caller, populate from, populate in. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what the static method is doing. But I don't like how these are exposed publicly, which I guess I can do protected. That will help. That will help with that concern. Put this down here. Will that help? Yeah, protected. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. Okay, so from network dictionary, still a static method. If dictionary keys count 0, return null. We'll also just do another check if dictionary, let's do this. Oops. Deleted my whole class. If dictionary is equal to null. Okay, so in here, populate from network dictionary. I guess I don't need to do this anymore. Yeah. It's a little bit nicer. Okay, that should work. So now I can do item resource dot from to network. Oh, did I get rid of my to network dictionary? Oh, right. I need to do this. Item dot to network. This is the part that I don't like. Now I have to do this everywhere. Which... I guess I don't need to do that. I mean, I could kind of... I could still do this. This is kind of the helper method that you're talking about, Bryce. The helper class. Instead of making a class, I'm just putting up static methods, but... to network dictionary. I think I can do this. It's all right. It's all right. So, but I don't have to do this now. I can do item resource dot to network dictionary and pass in my item. Like so. Item is equal to item resource dot from network dictionary. Update paper doll. This needs to be an item resource now. Oh, goodness. So now I'm going to need to... We'll just do this for now. If item is armor resource. Armor resource. Obviously, I'm going to need to have different, like, slots on the armor resources to determine. Right now, all I got on the paper doll is the helmet, though, so let's just slap that in there if it's an armor resource. Okay. This needs to be an item resource. We'll rename this to item resource. So we're going to need to refactor all this throughout the code as well. Basically, anywhere that armor resource was utilized, this can go away. Add range, select item resource, network from network dictionary. Wait. Oh, to network dictionary. Yeah. So to network dictionary, armor resource, network to armor resource. So this would be item resource dot network. This peer rewards. Oh yeah, this needs to be item resource. This needs to be item resource. Okay, that'll work. And then down in here, optimistically equip item. Item resource. Update paper doll. Oh, very nice. Is that all working? Wait, wait, is that it? Let's search for armor resource. Or I guess easier way to do it would be this. All right, where is this done? Armor registry. Okay, that's fine. Armor resource, this is all fine, obviously. Paper doll data. That's good. Oh, this needs to be item resource here. This needs to be item resource here. Armor head. Yeah, so this is just hard-coded, so that's not being handled correctly, but that's fine. This here, item resource. Unique ID to item. Equip item. Item is equal to get available item from peer that returns an item resource. Okay, yeah, so I need to do the same check in here now. Paper doll, wait a minute. Why is this the same? Try get value. Update paper doll. Hold up a second. I think this is redundant. Wait a minute. Equip item. So when the player optimistically equips an item, it's sending a message to the server saying, I want to equip this item with ID that. The server's taking that and saying, okay, the person who's requesting this, I'm going to make sure that they have the item permissions. Item 2. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's redundant. Okay, that was redundant. I think that was redundant anyway. This update paper doll is just what's called when I'm adding a new item to the paper doll. Okay, so let's see. I don't know. We'll see if it works. We'll see if it works. I should be able to see that I can still equip the helmet, and that will be replicated across all the clients. Nope. Object reference not set to instance of object. Armor head, armor resource 2 node. Packed scene, instance are free. Oh, yes. That is a problem. Is that a problem? I don't think so, actually. Is that a problem? I need to make a slight change to my item resource. I'm going to grab the ID first. Item resource deserialized is equal to... I cannot be creating a new armor resource here, I don't think. I think what I should do instead is I should be doing the following. Dupe.item type is equal to item type. Okay, instead of new item resource here, or armor resource, I want to do armor registry.from ID. And then I would need a weapon registry here. So this armor registry is just a list. So it loads all those resources on startup in the armor directory. And the reason why I'm doing that is because these items have all the references to like the packed scene and the Pascal ID and all that stuff. So instead of reloading the packed scene again, which it should be cached, but I already have a reference to it, so I might as well grab that item from the registry, and that will be pre-populated with all of the initialized data in here. And then I can override the things as necessary instead of creating the new resource, and then I'll have a weapon registry here. So that should work. Armor. Yeah. So that should work. Item type enum. What multiplayer for the Godot? First of all, hello, Dimitar. What multiplayer for the Godot for the Gunforged game? No, it's not for Gunforged. This is a new prototype here that I'm working on. Brand new prototype. So deserialized. Okay, so I do need to set the unique ID. I don't need to set the item type anymore. So is that the only thing I need to set then? Yeah, the unique ID is really the only thing that I need to be setting from this network dictionary, aside from the item-specific stuff. So yeah, I think that'll work. I think that will work. The lag. I gotta figure out why that lag happens initially. Hey, look at that. I equipped a helmet and now it replicated across everyone. And it also changed my energy, which is a good sign because that's what the equipment does right now. It adds a random energy. Okay, so that's working great. Sweet. Okay, so all of that refactoring. Now what I can do though is I can start working on how to get weapons now in place. So I could create like a short sword weapon and remove that hard-coded weapon from the player and get all of that equipping and whatnot. So I think that would be that'd be a fine next step here. Fingers crossed, yes. Yeah, it worked. I see Gunforge on my wish list is out, right? Yeah, it is out. So if you'd like to purchase it, please do so. It's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Is the energy amount different between instances? No, the energy is synchronized. It's just that this instance here is one player, and so this is the player's this player's health bar, and then this player, their health bar is shown here. So if there is a discrepancy, it's just because it's showing data for different players. It's basically showing it for whoever is controlling the window here. So yeah, that's exactly right. So yeah, so that's nice. So yeah, the whole system now seems to be in place, and I've got a decent way of deserializing and serializing these things. I think. Let me just make sure that I didn't do anything too dumb here. I was really itching to get rid of all those armor resource references and switch to generic item resources. And now I can differentiate and extend this. And eventually, I mean, I think eventually what I want to do is I want to make the item resources, maybe use them. Well, let's see. No, I'll have an inventory system at some point, but I need to figure that out at a different point in time. So there's a couple of problems here. So obviously I don't have a way of differentiating between which type of armor it is. So I'd probably need to add some kind of like what paper doll slot it occupies, the item. And then also I got to get weapons in place. So I think the next thing that I'll try to do for tonight is try to get a basic weapon registry in place, get the ability of a weapon to be a reward for the game, finishing the room, and then get that equipping on the player, and getting its own stats in place and all that. But first, refactoring items to be more generic. So we'll commit that. Item resource deserialized equals item from item type ID. Item from ID. Item resource deserialized equals item from. Okay, so there's like a static method, item from, item type and ID. Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah. I might even get rid of the item type because the ID is supposed to be unique whether it's a weapon or armor. So I could theoretically do a lookup in the armor registry and say, is there any item with this ID? Nope. Then do a lookup in the weapon registry and say, is there any item with this ID? So I could even get that down to a one-liner and just say item resource from ID and then have it automatically determine which registry it belongs to. Obviously, I need to make sure that my IDs can't clash at all. But that could be something I could do. But yeah, that's a good suggestion. Having a fever. Everyone's getting sick. I'm like, I'm worried that I'm going to get sick now. But thank you so much for the IDR 20,000. Very much appreciate that. That's great. And with the message, yummers. And I hope you are, I hope you start to feel better soon. Being sick with a fever, especially with this flu season, is no fun. I know several people who have just been completely knocked out by this year's whatever's going around. So, hello, Mastercar. This prototype seems similar to the one you once made for Game Jam, right? Yeah, it is. It's definitely similar. Yeah, that game is called Globins. It's on my itch.io page if anyone wants to check it out. I've stripped back a lot of the stuff from Globins. It's taking a different direction, but stylistically it's very similar. I don't know, like, to be frank, I don't know if I'm going to keep this style. This is just some stuff that I'm throwing together for the prototype, but it's entirely possible that the style will change quite a bit. Although I don't really think so. I mean, I kind of like these guys. They're cute. And I want to have the ability to do character customization where you can choose like the color of your guy and then also change like the face and the mouth and stuff. I think that would be really fun. And then the enemies being a similar shape is going to be, I mean, that would have multiple benefits. It would be easy to animate them. It'd be easy to draw them, which makes adding a lot more content a lot easier. But, you know, if it's just not working for the game, because I want the game to be like a high fantasy kind of RPG, and if it's just not, if that theme isn't coming across well, then I'll probably rethink the art and whatnot. But, I mean, I think what I would probably do is I had, let's see, I had a different mock-up here with the same kind of shape characters, except they had more detail, right? So like this would be a dwarf guy, berserker. So this is less like neon and more realistic, but still kind of like the same shape and style. So, and then these are like little orcs or whatever that I was drawing. You could see that they've got the same style too. So I still might move back to something like this, because it's still very similar, but I definitely want to keep the art simple, keep the enemies simple, and just mostly focus on the combat and the game loop here. But like I said, these are mostly just placeholders. I'm going to see how they feel. I mean, I could just like recolor these guys to have them like just look more human-like, and like without changing much of anything, and it would probably immediately look more realistic. So I honestly probably could just keep this art and just change the colors and it'd be fine. I'm kind of wary of, like, this guy's supposed to be a dwarf. I'm kind of wary of creating multiple different sized characters, because then if I want to display armor like helmets on the player, now I've got to account for multiple different player sizes, and that's just not going to be good. So I think I'd rather keep the players all the same size and not do like multiple races like you would see typically in an RPG. But I definitely might change the color palette, try to find something like a little bit more gritty maybe. Find something a little bit more gritty or a little bit more realistic instead of like this neon palette. I don't even know if it's neon is the right word, but it's definitely bright, you know? So I don't know. There's still a lot of experimentation that needs to be done, but we'll see. Anyone, any idea how to create a stylized 2D fire shader? I do not know. I'm sorry. Equip a different helmet from a customization perspective. Yeah, so I do want to make things like helmets. Like, I want to actually draw them so that when you equip a helmet, it changes your character's look. And of course, the weapons will all have different looks as well, so definitely want to do that. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is get weapons in place, like a sword, get that dropping, and gonna have to create a weapon resource, of course, and get that all equipable by a player. I think that would be really good. So yeah, let's get started on that. So before I get started on that though, I'm going to take a quick break, and we'll continue when I get back. In the meantime, you could purchase Gunforged if you want to support my work. It's linked in the description below. You can also, what's the other thing you can do? Purchase one of my Udemy courses if you're interested in learning how to build a complete game in the Godot engine. Everything's linked below. So give me a couple minutes. I'm going to get a refill on my drink, and we'll continue on with this loot work. Alrighty, welcome back to me. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to create, oh, I already created a weapon resource. Look at that. Of course I did. I forgot I did. So there's one thing that I need to do, which is, what am I doing? So armor, nope, armor resource. In here. Yeah, so I want to export some kind of damage. Oh, this display name, this should probably go in the base item resource here. Should it go in the base item resource? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Okay. So export private, public float damage. I have no clue ultimately how this is all gonna play out, so just adding a random stat here, damage for now. Populate from network dictionary. What do I do? Base.populate from network dictionary. Is that right? No, that's not right. Populate from, oh, I literally just, okay. I literally just do this. Damage is equal to float dictionary key damage. Public override dictionary to network dictionary. Dict is equal to base.toNetwork dictionary. Okay. Is that really all that it needs to be? This item type actually... Oh yeah, that item type does need to be there. So it knows how to deserialize it. So that needs to be there. Yeah, okay. All right. The display name doesn't need to be there because that's going to come from the registry. Cool. So all I need to do now is dict key damage is equal to damage, return dict. Okay, so that's done. Get scene path. Okay, that'll work. Weapon scene path slash Pascal ID .tscn. Okay, so we filled all that out. And then what? We need a weapon registry. Copy and paste, rename. Weapon registry. Weapon registry. ID to resource, weapon resource. Okay. Oh, do I need to override the duplicate? Public override weapon. Oh, of course this is wrong. Dupe.energy is equal to energy. Dupe.health is equal to health. Return dupe. Okay, and then in here, same deal. As weapon resource. Dupe.damage is equal to damage. Return dupe. Okay, so in here, that'll work. And then ID to resource, gd.load weapon resource, base weapon path, resources weapon. Probably want to move that around. Hello, Lamasco. How you doing? Welcome back to the stream. This is awkward. There we go. Base weapon path. Okay, resources weapon. Cool. So now what I can do is let's build all this real quick before I go further. Resources, create new folder. Nope. Create new folder. Weapon. New create new resource. Weapon resource. We're gonna call this short sword. Boom. And display name is there, damage is there, cool, let's put 1. Awesome. So now the next thing that I need to do is let's go to my base weapon. Weapon sprite, base weapon. This is curious. Very curious indeed. So the way that this works is I've got these hand components here. That's a hand. Inside of the hand component, there's this base weapon. I think that this is a misnomer. I think that this should be called something like weapon root. And the weapon root is basically going to store all of the animations for all the different weapon types. And then whatever weapon you have equipped is just going to determine which animations get played. That's the easiest way I can think of to do all the different animations. So if I've got like a halberd or like a greatsword or something, I want different animations for those things. And so just having an animation player with all the animations is one way to do it. The other way to do it is to what? Do the animations in a per scene on a per scene basis. So I'd have like a short sword scene with its animations and whatnot. I think both would probably be okay. The problem though is that there's a little bit more complexity than just the animations here. There's wind up tick timer, animation tick timer. These tick timers are related to the network rollback stuff. So basically just being able to determine when certain actions can be done, because you can't use like a normal timer, you can't use a process timer, you have to do it based on ticks. And so that's what these tick timers do. So I'm not sure if it would be a good idea to swap this in and out of the tree. I think it's a better idea to keep these always in the tree and then swap out the visual of the weapon. But let me think, actually. Let me think. I suppose there's nothing... There's a lot of work that I need to do in here still, but... Animation duration timer. Maybe I don't need to have a giant list of animations. I thought I would need that. I thought I would need that. How do I explain this? So basically, I need to determine how long an animation is, but I need to convert it to ticks, and that's what this netfox sharp network times seconds to ticks is. But I've restructured how I'm doing the animations such that they're always 2 seconds long. Oh, but yeah, this is why I can't separate the animations, I guess. So they're always 2 seconds long. So there's a 1 second wind up phase, and then there's a 1 second swing phase. But those don't actually end up being 1 second long because I end up changing the animation scale, the animation speed scale, based on some configurable values or values that will be configurable in the future. So that means that this wind up speed scale, I could set this slower for an enemy so the player can more easily see the wind up attack. And then, but for the player, I can make this wind up a lot quicker so that it's more responsive. And then of course the swing speed, I can change that too just for stylistic reasons. But also if I've got like an attack speed stat, then what I can do with that is I can apply that to either the wind up or the swing to increase the overall speed of the animation. So there's a convenience here to everything, just all of that animation stuff being on the base weapon. And that convenience is that all I need to do basically now is just change out the weapon sprite. Whereas if I were to make these animations unique to like a short sword scene, I would probably need to, I would need to implement these kind of things. And also this execute attack here. I don't know if you could see this. There's an execute attack, which is called on the base weapon, which is what actually spawns the hitbox during the animation. So I need to be able to do all of that in each scene, and that just sounds like a pain. Obviously, I would create like a, something else like akin to a base weapon class that just handles doing the attacks and setting the speed scales and everything, but I don't really see a reason not to. I think the proper approach here is going to be to just change the visual for now. And then the next weapon I should implement should be like a two-handed weapon, and then I'll see how implementing a two-handed weapon in this system works. And if that ends up being a nightmare, then I can do some refactoring. I'll let the game kind of steer what implementation to do, but right now it's a question of I'm not even going to really be able to tell when I switch the weapon. Oh goodness. These kind of systems are very complex. I mean, not very complex, it's just hard to do them right. There might be a lot of refactoring in my future. And by might, I mean there will be. Also, I don't know what Godot did here, but oh, yeah. They changed how the snapping works, but there we go. Figured it out. There's this little button down here, apply snapping to timeline cursor. You gotta click that one, and then the snapping works. Hello, Future Trunks. Welcome back, great to see you. Are we struggling with networked animation? No, the networked animation is fine. It's more of just a question of how to structure it going forward. Because what I do need to do is I do need to create a game object, create new folder, weapon. Oh, we already have a weapon. Create new scene. I would need to create a short sword here. .tscn. Weapon sprite, boom. And there's this hand remote transform and all that stuff. It's just kind of like, ugh. It's just kind of bleh. Still working on Gunforged? I mean, a tiny bit, but no, Gunforged is released. Gunforged is out in the wild, so you can definitely purchase that if you're interested. I don't know. I don't know. So, shoot. There's a number of complex things here, so I need the animations with the weapon. I need the timings with the weapon. But I also need this hand remote transform to be set to the hand position. Or to be set to the hand node so that the position updates as it's animating. So essentially what would happen in the new system is I would take this short sword scene and I would instantiate it here. What I should probably do... shoot. Yeah, this is what I probably should do. Okay. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. The hand remote transform definitely should go in with that. And I'm gonna call this main hand remote transform because I'm gonna need an offhand remote transform for a 2D or two-handed, not 2D, two-handed weapons. So this base weapon, like I said, this is a misnomer. This base weapon is not actually a base weapon. What actually needs to be the case is that this probably needs to inherit base weapon. So I'm actually going to rename some things here real quick. So this, so anything that's called base weapon here, we're going to rename this to weapon root. like so. Rename this one to weapon root. I hope I committed my important changes. Did I commit my important changes? Oh goodness. All right, well, whatever. We're deep now. So player, hand component, oops. This weapon root here. Okay, and rename this to weapon root. Cool. So this short sword, we'll get rid of this. Okay, so this animation player, I'm gonna copy this. Go over to my short sword here. Animation player. Oh, is this just gonna work? Oh, very nice. It doesn't have those methods though. Okay. So now what I need to do is this script here. This is going to be called base weapon. And maybe I should call this... Yeah, let's call it base weapon. Why not? Game.GameObject.weapon. Oh, I forgot to rename. Oops, my bad. Now I gotta rename this everywhere. Base weapon. All right, fine, I'll rename it. Jeepers. There's gonna be a lot of refactoring in my future, like I said. One thing that's gonna not, so this execute attack, hitbox, global position, yada, 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 who cares? Attack direction. Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff going on here. Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff. Well, I definitely need these things. Shoot. Okay, we're gonna get the wind-up speed scale out of here. I'm probably gonna have to rework this system at some point. I don't see how this is gonna be durable at all. I don't see how this is gonna be durable at all. But you know, you live and you learn. See, now here's the thing. That's, no, Okay, I'm already not liking what I'm doing here. So let's unwind. I'm gonna do something super janky here real quick. Do I want to do something super janky? I have to go buy and play it. Didn't play games for months. Glad I will start playing again. Go Gunforge. Awesome. Thank you. What if they have a modifier that gives them more arms? That is an interesting idea. That is an interesting idea. Appreciate you a lot. Thank you. Deserve to be rich like rich. Well, we'll see. I'm so impatient to play Gunforge. Have you tried using Rider with Godot? It's really nice and makes that rename of base weapon to root weapon easier. Yeah, I have used Rider. I don't know, I always preferred VS Code for some reason. I don't know why. This is going to be a nightmare. This is not going to work. So the weapon animation in here, I mean, that's fine, but yeah, the problem is that I think really what I need to do is This animation player needs to go away. Well, so I do need to set wind up speed scale, and I do need the set swing speed scale. So I need those for the purposes of the animation. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do here. I'm gonna have to do something like this. The flow of data here is very, very odd. I think what I do want to do is make this just a pure display thing, though. I want to make this a pure display thing, so private float, wind up speed scale, private float, swing speed scale. So I don't want this base weapon class to do any logic. The weapon root should be the thing that handles all the logic for me. So let's do this. This dot wind up speed scale equals wind up speed scale. This dot swing speed scale equals swing speed scale. So when that gets called from the animation player, there's that. Now we have the problem of execute attack. So private void execute attack. I think what I'll do is I'll just do this. Signal public delegate void attack execute requested event handler emit signal name attack execute requested. Okay, and then in my weapon root here, we're gonna get rid of, let's get rid of the weapon root animation player here, and this weapon sprite. Okay, so now we're gonna be missing some things. We're not gonna have the animation player here, and we're also not gonna have the hand remote transform. So let's just yeet those things. Wind up speed scales. Okay, yeah, so there's a couple of things we don't want to do here. Execute attack. We're going to get rid of these things because those are called from the animation player, or were called from the animation player. On animation finished. Oh, well, see, that's the problem. Let's put this in here. There's a lot going on. Let's see if I can remain focused here. Base weapon. Public override void ready. Let's close this. Cool. So in here, let's just copy this ready method. Paste that there. We're going to take that on animation finished. Okay, start recovery tween. Yeah, so the weapon root will be logic, the logical container, and then the base weapon will just be animations and visuals. I think that's the best way to do it, but I'm going to have to synchronize some values here, but that's, you know, that's how it goes. Set hand. Set hand. Hand component, weapon root, set hand. So this is going to be the unfortunate part. I'll figure out what to do with that later. Play attack animation. Well, shoot. Where's my recovery tween? Here. Okay. Play attack animation, public void. So this needs to go here. I'll just let the C# code tell me what's breaking. Get down. Cat is sitting on the router. Did you make your own music for Gunforge? Did you ask by someone? Yeah, I paid someone for it. Yeah, that's right. I'm watching this while 7 of my cats. Oh my gosh. That's quite a herd you got there. That's quite a herd. On animation finished. Okay, so you know what I might do is I might just store private int last attack combo. Oh, this is nuts. I might rework this whole system, but let's just do this for now. Public int max combo, get private set it equal to 3. We want that to be variable. All this is going to be variable at some point, but we're just going to set it to 3 for now. Weapon sprite. So what is the weapon sprite here? So let's grab the node for that. Node private sprite 2D weapon sprite. Cool. Okay, so start recovery tween, include grace delay. That should be configurable at some point as well. All right, but let's figure all this. So cancel attack animation. We're going to take this. So we got play attack animation, cancel attack animation. So this is all just animation. So none of this does anything logical. It's all just visual. So that's good. Okay, set hand. I'm going to take this and I'm going to put this on my base weapon as well. Set hand, sprite 2D hand. Let's do node 2D. Make it more general. And remote transform. So this is main hand remote transform. Node private remote transform 2D. Main hand remote transform. Cool. And then we'll change this to main hand remote transform. Excellent work. Okay, there's going to be a number of issues, starting with the hand component, I think. Weapon root. So this is going to be a problem. This weapon root. Instead of forwarding a bunch of calls, I'm going to get rid of this max combo as well. Yeah, that should be fine. Forward speeds, forward smoothing, energy cost. That all needs to be, yeah, weapon stats. So we'll not worry about that just yet. Private base weapon. So this is the weapon root, hand component. Base weapon. All right, so there's obviously going to need to be some things that change here, but for now, we'll do this. This dot get first node of type of our current weapon equals, actually, you know what I can do? Weapon. So let's do this. Remove child weapon dot queue_free. Let's do this instead. If weapon is equal to not equal to null, remove it and queue_free it. I probably don't need to remove it first, but just on the off chance it kind of throws something off, we'll remove it from the tree first. And then we're taking in a weapon resource. So This is actually going to be useful because I can set up the stats that I need here, but then I can also, now that I think about it, that max combo should probably be on the weapon resource itself. Anyway, doesn't matter for now. Weapon resource, weapon resource. So this is where I do the to node, add child, weapon resource dot to node. And then we're going to say, well, we can do this. Weapon is equal to weapon resource to node. And to make my life easier, this is always going to be a base weapon. So we'll cast it to a base weapon. And then I can add my child here, weapon. So what that's essentially going to do here is this weapon root now. I can do instantiate child scene, short sword, boom, there's my short sword. So that's essentially what's going to happen here. And then what needs to happen after that is set weapon. I need to do weapon, well, let's see. Goodness, there's a lot going on here. Weapon root dot set hand, hand sprite. I don't like this. I don't like this whole system. I don't like this whole system. This whole system's on the chopping block, but we're going to move forward anyway. I'm probably going to rework this, but you can't really know ahead of time. I apologize if I'm asking too much. Do you believe in God? And do you watch anime? That's a very big question for 10 p.m. at night. Do I believe in God? Yes, I do. Hello. I don't really know what that means though, but you know. I don't really know what that means though. 5 a.m. here. It's an even deeper, what you call it? Deeper late night thoughts. Okay, hello cat. We got the cat here. Gonna say hi to the stream. Oh, hello. What was I doing? Oh, I got derailed here. Do I watch anime? I forgot to answer that question. No, I don't watch anime. I do not. I actually don't watch anything. If I watch anything, it'll be a movie. It'll be a movie if I watch anything, but yeah, I don't watch any TV shows or anime or anything like that. When I was working, it made office conversations very difficult because everyone would be like, "Oh, this new show on Apple TV is so good. Have you seen it?" Like, no, for the 10th time in 6 months, I don't know. Oh. So what am I doing in here? Is enemy weapon root set enemy? Why did you want to stream at night this time? I just felt like I felt a hankering to do some work, get some refactoring done. That's all. Weapon root dot set. No. Set weapon. Weapon resource. This is so bad. Weapon root dot set hand. Wait, how do I do set hand? Oh, this is terrible. This is terrible. Reset the attack combo in there. All right, I'm gonna do something really bad. gonna pass the hand in here. I'm gonna figure all this out later, but in here, in this set weapon, I'm just gonna pass the hand sprite in here. That doesn't seem right. Oh yeah, it should be fine actually. I'm not getting any errors, but I feel like that's wrong. There should be errors in here. How is Gunforged doing? It's going well, Carto. Thanks for asking. Yeah, it's released, and it's sold pretty well so far. Honestly, I think it's great. We'll see what that paycheck ends up being whenever Steam sends the payment, but it'll be nice. It definitely extends my runway by a month or two, probably closer to 2 months, maybe a little bit more than 2 months. So yeah, it was nice. It's doing well. 43 reviews, 95% positive, I think it was last time I looked. So yeah, going well. Can't complain. Can't complain. Oh, this execute attack is not called anywhere, because I need to do weapon dot connect. Base weapon dot signal name dot attack execute requested, callable from on attack execute requested. Where is swing started? Is this never used? Swing started? Oh, I guess that's never used. Goodbye. Unless... yeah, that's never used. Okay, well, I don't know why that was there. Deleting unused signals is a good idea. On attack execute requested, we're going to do execute attack. Alright. So again, I mean, the whole point of this was to basically get the logical portion of weapon attacking into the weapon root here, and then the base weapon is just the visual component of it, which I think will be fine. Now the problem is that play attack animation, this is going to be wrong, right? Yeah. Weapon root play attack animation. So this is kind of the thing, is like I have this very strange hierarchy going on, which makes it really hard to control things, which is the part that I don't like. So I have a hand component here, then all the way down here is this weapon root, which is that logical container that I was talking about, and then all the way underneath that weapon root is this weapon. And so basically when I want to play the weapon's attack animation, I need a way of reaching into that. Now, unfortunately, the only way that I can think to do that is by doing by exposing this here, doing like a public base weapon like so, and then doing get private set. But then what I end up with is something that's not exactly that good, which is here. Now I have to do hand component dot weapon root dot weapon dot play attack animation. And the problem is now, oh, and I don't have the attack combo. So actually, I did that all wrong. So this is why it's kind of like a little bit iffy, but I basically need to do this now. Shoot. Yeah, so in here, public void play. So I'll put this in here, and then I do weapon dot play attack animation. I need to pass in the attack combo there. So in this case, it's fine because it's actually hierarchically building up. So the player doesn't care or doesn't know what combo it's on. So it just calls play attack animation. Then the weapon is what play attack animation is called, but then I'm passing in the attack combo because this base weapon has no knowledge of what current combo we're on, which is fine. So that's a case where like it's building upon the information, which is fine. Cancel attack animation, that is something that I need to do though. And I think I can just do weapon root dot weapon cancel attack animation. Oh, you know what? Cancel attack animation. I think this needs to stop the... There's a problem in here. I probably shouldn't change too many things at once, but... Weapon root. Cancel. If I would do cancel attack animation, but I also want to... Animation tick timer, wind up tick timer, combo finish tick timer. So I think what I want to do in here is animation tick timer dot stop. Oh shoot, I need to get the tick. Wind up tick timer. This is so complicated. Oh, multiplayer. Oh, but that's display enter. Oh. So this is actually correct. So we want to call cancel attack in the enter stagger. Oh, I already have cancel attack timing. Oh, I already did all that. Okay. All right. Well, it's good to know that I already handled that. It's good to know. So I guess I can just do that. Cool. All right, let's see what's broken. Let's see what's broken. Glad to hear that. Thank you. How many copies you sold, and do you think it helped that you do these streams and vids? Yeah, I mean, so I sold almost 1,500 copies of Gunforged right now. I think I might do a video showing how much exactly, like the performance of it. And I definitely think that, yeah, the videos are the main reason why it did so well. So doing the devlogs was a huge help. That was a good way of building wish lists. These VODs that you are probably, somebody's watching right now, this VOD that you're watching is a method of doing sort of like evergreen content generation, which means that, you know, these VODs, the view counts keep trickling up over time, and that's just more and more people that are getting exposed to the things that I have for sale. And so I'm basically just building up a library of content that's just going to remain on my YouTube channel, and all that content contains some level of advertising to some level of advertising to my content, right? So yeah, it definitely helps. Okay, so now the problem with this weapon root is that I need to initialize this now. So the player, yeah, so in ready. Do I want to do it in ready? This all needs to be synchronized to across the clients. Yeah, this is going to be, I might write a different system for this, but I do hand component.set weapon resource, set weapon, weapon registry.from ID, short sword. Obviously this shouldn't be hard coded, but there's that. And then I got to do the same thing for the enemy. Okay, the animations are not playing. Cannot match member weapon sprite to any node. Oh, is that why? That shouldn't have been the problem, but let's see. Okay. Let me just make sure my animation player is correct here. Yep. I might need to Oh, these wind-up speed. I'm never calling a knit here. Right. Yeah, I'm going to rewrite all this. But part of doing this is that I have an idea now of what all my needs are. I definitely want to keep the separation between the logic that drives the weapon and the animations of the weapon. But yeah, this whole system is just a little bit wonky. I mean, maybe it just has to be wonky though. That's the thing. But anyway, animations are back and working. Let's see now if I can. I would love to be able to smack something. Oh, did it work? Yeah, nice. Okay, well, oh, and the helmet no longer works? Oh my gosh. What in the world? Oh, I changed the wrong thing. 2-node. Oh, okay. We'll keep the 2-node there, but I'll override it inside of weapon resource. Weapon resource. Public override base weapon 2-node. Can I not do that? Base weapon. Okay. Okay. I accidentally changed the type of that 2-node in the base item resource, which is affecting the armor. Okay, that makes sense. So yeah, unfortunately didn't get to the ability to equip weapons, but the plumbing is in place now. I can put my helmet back on, look at that. The plumbing is in place now for me to be able to do equipable weapons. But yeah, this is a mess. I need to synchronize the equipment states of everything across all the players, but that's what the paper doll data is for. So this paper doll data here is basically just going to be a class that contains everything the player has equipped. And then since that's all contained in one nice little thing, that can all be replicated to the clients as needed and is stored in a single place. So yeah, we've got a helmet slot here, and then there will probably be like public, you know, like weapon resource, left hand, public weapon resource. You know what, I'm gonna not do left hand. Let's do main hand, off hand. So we'll have something like that. Public armor resource, chest. And I don't know, we'll probably have something like public armor resource, trinket 1, public armor resource, trinket 2. So these are like, would be all the equipable things. So helmets, main hand, off hand, chest piece. Maybe gloves. I don't know if gloves would be good, but that's kind of what the paper doll would be. And then the armor would be helmet, chest. So anyway, and then I have a method in here somewhere where I can create a player stats object from the paper doll data. So player stats being things like energy, health, you know, there will eventually be like armor, intelligence, that kind of thing. So these are all the systems that I've got going on, that I've got started anyway. And yeah, you know, a lot of this stuff is probably going to need to be refactored as I figure out how I'm building the game and what needs arise. But, you know, you got to start somewhere. And I think the plumbing is there. I think the basic flow of data is correct. It's just a matter of like re-architecting the specific systems or redesigning the specific systems as necessary. But all the big like foundational chunks are in place. The framing is kind of there. So now it's just a matter of filling in the frame. Okay, so add ability to have weapon resources. Okay, well, that's going to be it for the stream. I'm tired, actually, so I'm going to go to bed real shortly here. But thank you, everyone, for watching. Very much appreciate it. It was fun hanging out with all of you tonight. Again, Gunforged is released now, so you can check out the Steam page. It's linked below. Purchase that if you're interested. You can also purchase one of my Udemy courses if you're interested in learning how to build a complete game in the Godot engine. But yeah, it was great hanging out with you. Thanks again to the VOD watchers and the lurkers out there. I know you're out there. So thanks for watching these videos, and yeah, I might do another impromptu stream sometime this weekend. So hit the notification bell to be notified when I go live. And you're welcome, Mastercard. Good night, Any Key. And yeah, I'll see all of you in the next stream. All right, good night, everyone.